So welcome back to DecoyNoise, where we're doing more Decoy Court, where we're taking cases from r/am I the antagonist and giving it a retrial, with today's featured post being, am I the antagonist for telling I'm a 34-year-old male, mom, a 62-year-old female, that my dad isn't my biological father? So before we get into the story today, I want to make sure you guys are subscribing down below to join the Decoy Koi Pond. To join the group over on DecoyNoise.com, we're going to be doing something special where we're going to be rewarding people that are active members in the comment section. Subscribe down below and earning those Decoy Koi coins to try to become a Decoy Koi coin trillionaire. And I wish I made that an easier way to say it. So yeah, if you want to earn some Decoy Koi coins, join the Decoy Koi Pond and being that first Decoy Koi trillionaire, make sure you're subscribed and commenting down below. But let's go ahead and get to this post right now. So OP says, my husband doesn't have Reddit, so he's posting my account. Too long, didn't read on the bottom. During quarantine boredom, my wife decided to order DNA kits to find out more about our ancestry. We ordered a few different kits just so we could cross-reference the results. Even started working on our family trees from memory, anticipating our results. When I would ask my mom questions about our family tree or show her what I found, she was very dismissive and at times abrasive. The results from different kits came back at different times. When the first set of results came back, I immediately knew something was off. She was in town visiting and I brought my concerns to her. Again, she was dismissive, angry, and even more adamant that I stop wasting my time and living in the past. A week later, she returns home and received the results from the final kit with a DNA match to the first cousin and literally no genetic ties to where my father is from. After investigating, my dad isn't my dad. It's an ex-boyfriend of my mom that I vaguely remember her talking about over the years. Needless to say, I was distraught. I took the day off from work to process and speak with my therapist. She encouraged me to inform her, but not confront. I took her advice, and holy crap, from the minute I said, Mom, I got my other DNA results, she freaked the heck out on me. She wouldn't let me speak. She just kept yelling, no, I don't care. I told you to stop that crap. I don't want to hear it. She then proceeded to cry and say how inconsiderate I was for not calling to ask how she was feeling. She had a tooth extraction the day before, and how I'm disrespectful for not respecting her wishes. Finally, after the conversation hit a lull, I try again to tell her only for her to start talking over me, yelling, stop, I don't want to hear about it. Even still, I managed to get out. This is the last I'll speak about it, but Dad is not my father. All she said, what? Goodbye, and hung up on me. It's been about 12 hours now, and neither of us have spoken, but we've each spoken to my sister and my wife. She hasn't mentioned what I found out to either of them. Just that I'm disrespectful and she's going to cut me and her 4 grandkids off if I don't stop with this crap. She doesn't care that I'm also devastated and is acting like me doing these DNA kits was done intentionally to hurt her. She has yet to acknowledge my discovery. My sister feels like I was wrong, but she's alone and has been very sad lately because she's far from family and is having problems with her hip. My sister thinks because she has no one and because I have my wife and family for support that I should have waited until I could tell her in person. So, am I the antagonist? And the too long didn't read is, DNA kit revealed my dad isn't my biological father. When I tried to tell my mom, who made it known that she didn't want me to do the kit, she's reacted horribly. Sister thinks I'm the antagonist because mom's lonely and in pain. So taking the case and rushing it over to Decoy Court, I could see this as being a situation. Oftentimes I do have to give a disclaimer on my particular opinion being on this because I was adopted from a foster care when I was born, so I may be a little skewed for, these situations regarding paternity and family and everything. But with this particular situation, I get it. OP, you are more than welcome to figure out your ancestry, figuring out all these things about yourself, and just knowing who you are as a person, even though DNA tests is something brand new. And also the mother has a reason to say, hey, don't dig up these things that are going to shame me for choices they made. How old is this? Like 34 years ago? Yeah, 34 years ago, it's going to shame her, and then she just wants to put it in the past. She's already having a hard time with her hip. She's already being alone. I'm guessing the father isn't around anymore, and it's just a rough time for her. So I could see why, AOP, why are you going to give your mom a harder time now than later on? You probably could just keep this to yourself and never bring it up to her, just know it and just keep it under your hat and all that other stuff. But I guess it's, am I the antagonist? Was I mean when I could have been nicer? But we got to bring it over to the decoy defense, which I have a couple different ideas as to why this would make him the antagonist, because the mom has a horrible secret. Just like me, where I have red facial hair, very curly hair. I don't think that's common for Koreans. If you're a Korean person with curly hair or red facial hair, let me know in the comment section because I want to know if I'm not alone. But also, maybe her father is one, like a James Bond villain, where it was like a terrible thing, and the ex-boyfriend wasn't an ex-boyfriend. The ex-boyfriend was, you know, Kim Jong-un or something, and she's just like, I don't want OP to know that his father is a Korean dictator, like something like that, where it's gonna bring shame on the family, terrible things, and it's just like, oh my god, this could tear everybody apart. Now he's got to go back and serve in their military or something. That could be awful. Or on the other side, what if the biological father has kidney failure and he needs a new kidney, and OP's probably going to be the only match for it, and she's trying to keep the deadbeat ex-boyfriend away from OP, and now they're really going to pull it on strong. Once it comes up on Ancestry.com or Meet My ancestors.com or DNA match or whatever it is, they realize, hey, look, you need a new kidney. Someone just popped up on your profile saying they have one, he's healthy, doesn't drink alcohol, let's go pound on his door right now to harvest that nice fresh organ or whatever. I mean, that could be a thing, and that would definitely mean that OP, you're the antagonist, because mom's just trying to protect you. She's doing all this stuff for, she has like a fake hip injury, but she's actually just trying to block every historical record of the kid and trying to make sure those ancestry kits don't go live, because they don't want their precious little boy that has 4 kids to have to give up his kidney to some jerk named Kim. I don't know. It's getting ridiculous, but as always, we live in the real world. The decoy defense is just a way to try to figure out why they wouldn't be, but my actual response is, you're not the antagonist. Bordering on no one's the antagonist here. I could see why the mom just doesn't want to deal with this when she's already going through another time. She's alone, she has hip problems, and she probably is just going to be freaking out when there's more stress on her life than you really need to be. Like, I mean, what is she, 62 years old? That doesn't seem like something that she needs to be going through right now, especially with all the other health issues that are happening, the lockdowns, the loneliness, the depression. I could see why they wouldn't do that. So we'll take a short break right now to give you guys ample time to make sure you guys are joining the Decoy Court, subscribing down below, but also answering the question of the day of, or you a Korean person with red hair? No, I'm not. That's not the decoy question of the day. The decoy question of the day would be, if your ancestor was somebody that was terrible in history, like I'm talking about a very, very, like I guess a lot of people are related to Genghis Khan in some way, but if your father was the person that directed the movie adaptation of the musical Cats, if that was your real father, would you want to know, or would you just rather not know that whole situation entirely because you don't want to be connected to something so terrible? Let me know in the comment section down below if that's something that you would not want to know or you would want to know. But let's go ahead and say, take that break, let me know down below, but let's go ahead and get to that top comment to see what they're saying as well. Top comment says, wow, this is a lot to unpack. Okay, let me get the timeline straight. 1, you wanted to learn more about your ancestry, like a normal person, so you ordered DNA kits. 2, because of the DNA kits, you found out that your mom lied to you your entire life. 3, when you tried to talk to your mom about the deception that had been had, again, going on since you were born, she screams at you and tells you she'll cut you off if you don't stop, never admitting to her own culpability. You don't know who the antagonist is here? Yes, your mom gaslighted you for 34 years about one of the most fundamental facts in your life, and has continued to do so in the face of incontrovertible evidence, not the antagonist. Also, how does your, I guess, non-biological dad feel about this? Have you talked to him about this at all? He's still the man who raised you, and he might not know about her deception either. So OP came back and said, okay, I thought the dad was gone. Well, let's go ahead and see what they said. They said, I haven't told him because I'm still trying to get my head around everything. I kind of think my mom should be the one, but likely she won't because she's not even talking to me. Dad and I had a strained relationship, but has gotten better in my adult years. Dad had a kid outside the marriage and caused them to divorce, so he and my mom don't live together. So that's actually a better perspective on the relationship. Like, both of them were cheating, both of them had extramarital relationships. This is getting a whole lot deeper, and I believe that the chances that OP's related to Kim Jong-un has now doubled because of the stepkid. No, I'm actually no. Don't quote me on that. I'm not good at genealogy. I'm not good at a lot of stuff other than making up stories and defending the indefensible. So, you know, maybe we need to grab another guest on DecoyNoise that can make up. They can do pool math and figure out genealogy better, but that's not my specialty. So let's go ahead and shoot over to those controversial comments right now. The top controversial comment is, I'm waffling on my vote, so admitting it, but she already knew. I'm not sure what you thought you were going to gain by making a fight out of it. Your first clue was how she reacted when you told her you had the results. Listen to your therapist next time. Okay, and then OP came back to said, I did. My therapist said to inform her. My mom was the one that became confrontational. And then the reply that got a whole bunch of downvotes was, If you had taken the therapist's advice, you would have backed off as soon as your mom became aggressive about this. So no, I don't think you did. This is the ultimate level of self-righteousness that you see on these Am I the Antagonist posts where, you know, the other story we covered earlier today was, hey, my sister did this thing, so I corrected her. And somebody came on in the controversial comments saying, hey, OP, I read a small paragraph about your sister, so I definitely know so much more about what your sister's feeling, how she is, and how she reacts to things. So this person's trying to school OP about their sister, and in this post right here, this person's trying to school OP about, yeah, listen to your therapist because your therapist said this, basing it on absolutely nothing. How would they know what OP's therapist was saying when they weren't in the room, don't know the therapist, don't even know if the story's a real story or not, and have no idea if Kim Jong-un is affiliated in the story? Okay, I'm getting far away from it, but the simple fact that they just think they know it all, and I mean, I guess I think I know it all too, but you can't even listen to half the madness that occurs on the internet because so many of them are just gonna, you know, shoot off these crazy assumptions and ideas as to why OP is the bad guy, how they could do it better, and how they should give up all their belongings because they're a terrible person, and the only way they can redeem themselves is if they give money to everyone around them because they're rich, and how dare they? Something like that. And honestly, I'm making a joke right now, but that's kind of halfway true right now. Like, that's a lot of what we see on Am I the Antagonist is just, you have something, give it to somebody else, you're not hurt, they're hurt, make sure you hurt too, something like that. So as we're going along, I just want to make sure that, you know, you guys are enjoying what I'm doing, because the Decoy Koi Pan is somebody that I'm very fond of, the people that do enjoy my stuff, because they give me guidance as to make a better channel. So if you're new here, you're subscribing, let us know in the comment section in the Decoy Koi Pan that you've joined us, but also give me some feedback as to how to make the channel better as a new viewer, because you haven't seen this evolve through the time. You haven't seen me with terrible facial hair, you haven't seen me with short hair. All you know is, hey, look, that guy, he's got like a mop on his head. Who does he think he's fooling with that wig? Something like that. So just let me know how I can make the channel better if you have any idea, and just introduce yourself. Let us know what you're thinking. Give us some judgments on you're the antagonist, you're not the antagonist, and also let me know if you're trying to earn those Decoy Koi coins or try to get that Decoy coin trillionaire status on the DecoyNoise.com website when I kind of do a revamp. So as always, if you made it to the end of the video with a special celebration and the music and everything, make sure you subscribe, make sure you're sharing this, make sure you're liking it, but if nothing else, go ahead and put this on autoplay and watch that next episode of Decoy Noise coming up next. At some point in time, I'm going to braid these together. Just make a giant antennae, like an ant or something.